What's up, everyone? My name's PlatinumHowler, coach of your Delta Gligars. Today I'm bringing you my Week 9 match of the APA Academy versus Gravy and his Vancouver Titangs. You can see his team over on the right side of the screen. His team, just like ours, is currently undefeated. Pretty wild that two 8-0 teams are going head-to-head with one another in Week 9. We're both obviously clinched for playoffs, both clinched for a bye to the quarterfinals of the playoffs. So it wouldn't be a very good idea for us to bring our best teams and go all out for this game. Really, the only impact that this game has is on seeding for the top 6 teams in the league. But if we were to meet each other again in playoffs, we don't want to have expended our best sets against one another, you know? So we both agreed that we wouldn't straight up meme necessarily, but we would just bring the B team, and whatever result comes of the game is cool with us. So what I decided to do was ask every individual member of my front office to come up with one set each for this game, so that I could, it would be a nice opportunity to give the front office the recognition that they deserve for helping me throughout the course of the season and moving forward as well. So thanks to everybody who contributed to this team in advance. First off, we have this wishy-washy set from Sven Toon, aka Sven for short. He's killing it in the LET this season. I think he's pretty sure he's first place in the league in his. We played him in Season 4, and it was a very close match. He's a very good battler, so always nice to have good battlers making sets for you. All the games left in the season, this was definitely the one to bring Wishy-Washy to. I would have wanted it on this team 100% because just to make sure that it came to a game before season's end. This is like the prime opportunity to make sure that it sees the field at least once. These 4 moves are basically what you tend to run on a Wishy-Washy. You kind of have to decide whether or not you want your Water Stab to be physical or special. I mean, base 140 attack stats across the board is pretty amazing. So we are primarily physical this week, but we also have Ice Beam to be able to hit stuff like the Celebi and the Noivern, although U-Turn is definitely going to be hitting Celebi a lot harder than anything else. You run max HP, or near max HP at least, on Wishy-Washy every single time because of its pitiful base 45 HP stat, but its strong natural defenses kind of make up for it. One thing I noticed about this set right away is because we are running a relaxed nature, we are more than likely not going to be outspeeding Aromatisse if that comes for my opponent. I believe Aromatisse is base 29 speed, I want to say. Maybe a little slower than that, I'm not positive. But he will likely not be running a negative speed nature on his Aromatisse unless he is like a Trick Room set. So hopefully, we have Copper Ratchet to be able to deal with Aromatisse anyway, so hopefully this isn't too much of a problem for us. Yeah, thank you to Sven for getting the team started. So next up we have this Necrozma, courtesy of Eco. His full Discord name is Eco the Living Planet, but I felt like just the Living Planet as a nickname for Necrozma was pretty epic, so we're going to go with that. Necrozma is a mon that Eco is quite fond of using, so it's fitting that he chose this to build his set with. We are a double dancing Dragon Dance plus Iron Defense set, so we have enough speed with this. After a Dragon Dance, we will guarantee outspeed Noivern, his fastest mon, at +1 unless he is a Scarfed Noivern, of course. And then we can deal tremendous amounts of damage with Photon Geyser and Earthquake to everything on his team. We also have Iron Defense on this, so after an Iron Defense, we are not 2-hit KO'd by Tyranitar's Choice Band and Crunch, and we will always outspeed Tyranitar, even if he is a Jolly max speed set. And even before an Iron Defense with this investment, we can survive a Banded first impression from Golisopod from Full HP. Thanks again to Eco for coming up with this set for us, and thanks for being probably the most committed member of our front office in general. So next up, we have a set from our newest member of the front office. This is from Panda Boy. So yeah, I know we said that we weren't going to be all out memeing in this game, but it's at least somewhat appropriate that we have one kind of meme-ish set in this game. I don't really know if meme-ish is a word, but it is now. So this thing can set up stealth rocks for us if we want, but we really want to be doing damage in Gigantamax form. Hurricane in Gigantamax form, you know, max airstream, it's going to be giving us speed boosts. Max ooze is going to be giving us special attack boosts. However, we cannot use Belch outside of Gigantamax form in our base form. We can't use it because it requires the consumption of a berry. It cannot be selected until the user eats a berry. And of course the rules of the league maintain that we cannot hold anything other than a Pokeball, or a Master Ball in this case. So yeah, this is a useless move slot while we're in our base form, but in Gigantamax form we can get some special attack boosts. If we get to +2 special attack, we can actually KO a max speed Celebi with a max ooze after it's taken rocks damage, which is pretty wild. Although we'd probably be going for max airstream against that regardless because it's more powerful. Rotom Wash would usually be a pretty good check to this, but since we're special attacking, there's no point in him trying to burn us. He'd have to go for Hydro Pumps and try to connect those. And in Gigantamax form, we should be living at least one Hydro Pump from him, unless he's like Specs or something, which he very well could be. So let's hope that doesn't come. The speed investment, I'm sure, is enough to outspeed a uninvested Rotom Wash, but I would be surprised if that's the exact EV spread that he brings. I'm sure he will have a little bit of speed investment on that thing, but after a Hurricane max airstream speed boost, we should definitely be outspeeding Rotom Wash 100% of the time. So thank you to Panda for this very creative / meme set that you've got for us. Next up is going to be this Mimikyu, courtesy of Ruppy, my best friend in the Discord / Pokemon Draft League community. I've known him for over 5 years now, and he actually is a coach in the IBL this season, and I'm very much looking forward to week 11 when we get to go up against each other. So go check him out if you haven't already. He's doing very well in the season so far. It's fitting that he decided to build with his favorite Generation 7 Pokemon, that being Mimikyu, and his idea behind this was to basically just try to eliminate Excadrill as a response to this one way or the other. Whether it's Sand Rush, he can outspeed us with Sandstorm up and not be able to break our disguise, and then we can just get a Swords Dance up, Drain Punch, and Shadow Sneak for the win. So after he breaks the disguise, then we would eat the Berry, and most likely, hopefully not die to a hit from Excadrill. It is very powerful. Mimikyu isn't the bulkiest mon on the physically defensive side, but if he is Mold Breaker, then we should be able to eat our Berry because he will be damaging us through our disguise, and we can hopefully live a hit from that thing. Hopefully not get flinched by Iron Head as well, that would really suck. But then we can, in either scenario, hopefully we can get a Drain Punch plus a Shadow Sneak off into that thing to be able to knock it out. And then we should be in pretty good position to deal with the rest of his team from there. So thanks again to Ruppy for coming up with this set. Now we're going to be moving on to Copperajah. This set is courtesy of Owen, aka OG Albina, who most of you probably know. He's in the top division of APA this season, as well as several other leagues like the NCP, and he's also in the IBL as well. We're going to be going up against him pretty soon in the IBL, as a matter of fact. So he designed this Copperajah set that I'm probably most looking forward to seeing how this set will work. just because it has rest sleep talk. I'm curious to see how well a rest talk Copperajah can perform. With the Okaberry and the massive amount of special rope we have, we can actually take a hit from a Choice Specs Chandelure. Overheat we can take if we haven't been chipped down by rocks at all. Fire Blast we can take if even if we have come in on rocks once, and we can potentially get a surprise kill against his Chandelure. However, this definitely struggles against the likes of Rotom Wash and Golisopod. It can't really do any sorts of damage to either one of them. We actually have some speed investment to outspeed uninvested Golisopod, even though we can't really do a ton of damage to it. But if he is like just above 50%, then we can potentially knock him below 50% with Earthquake and trigger his emergency exit. That could potentially come in clutch there. It is worth noting though that there's a bizarre interaction with Sheer Force attacks and emergency exit. If I were to click Iron Head and knock him below 50%, because I have Sheer Force, emergency exit actually would not proc. So if that's our goal, to knock him into range where he is forced to switch out, then we're going to have to click Earthquake to be able to do that. Iron Head will not do the trick. This is now the third week in a row that we brought Copperajah to a game after we nearly thought about dropping it from the team. So pretty cool to have it be making so many appearances in the later weeks of this season. So thanks again to Owen for coming up with this set. And last but not least, we have this Gallade courtesy of my very close friend Corona, who we very recently played in the NCL playoffs. In fact, that video went up yesterday. So if you missed that one, go check it out. Unfortunate name for him to have at this point in time. Corona is actually his last name, his full name being Daniel Corona, but goes by Corona12 on Discord. And he is very well known for bringing screens on pretty much every mod that you can imagine. So it's only fitting that we have a dual screens Gallade to round out this team. We have speed for uninvested Rotom Wash once again, and then just everything else in HP and defense. With this attack stat, we're adamant uninvested, but we can 2-hit KO max HP Chandelure. We can't live a hit from Chandelure because it's so strong, unless we have a light screen up. If we have a light screen up, then we can deal with it all right. And then Drain Punch, because we don't want to be lowering our defenses with close combat. If we're setting up screens, that wouldn't be good synergy, really. So, and Drain Punch is going to be more than enough to KO a Tyranitar from full HP anyway, obviously. So, and if he decides to try to crunch us, then we can get an attack boost and be an even bigger threat against his team. Thanks to Corona for contributing to this team. I know you're not technically in the front office, but if I had to choose one person outside of my front office to design a fun set for me to use in a game like this, it would 100% be you, because you always come with surprises, although really this Screens Gallade isn't much of a surprise coming from you, but thanks anyway. So that is going to be our team that we're using against Gray. Stay tuned tomorrow for the battle. If you enjoyed this team builder, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel to keep up with all of our Draft League content. We'll see you tomorrow for the battle.